Everyone, Jackson with Saints in the South here. This week, we've got another bonus episode to share with you. It's one that we recorded a couple of weeks ago, and I ended up coming across a topic on social media that was generating a lot of discussion. I found it fairly interesting, and so I decided to throw the topic at Kenny and Marcus and get their feedback and their takes on it. But it is the topic of the church's decision to use volunteer hands in cleaning the church buildings rather than using professional janitorial services. So if you're on social media, you may have seen that topic discussed, and there are some pretty intense discussions on both sides, some for it and some against it. So anyway, I'm actually a team captain when it comes to cleaning our local building, and this week is actually my team's turn to clean, and it never seems to come at a convenient time. So I figured this would be a good week to share our thoughts on it. So I hope you enjoy. We are Saints in the South, your source for gospel growth and good times. All right, everyone, welcome back. We've got another bonus episode for you. I'm going to hit Kenny and Marcus with a Twitter topic. So I know Kenny's on Twitter.
Gosh.
I don't. Marcus is not on Twitter, right?
I'm scared of it.
Okay,
You're smart.
I'm scared.
You should be. You should stay away from it. It's a cesspool.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Elon to take it over. I'm just kidding.
So it's funny. You know, you get these Latter-day Saints or former Latter-day Saints, and they throw out these topics. And so here's the one that I've recently come across.
Okay.
The church's decision to go from a paid janitor situation and cleaning the building to using members, volunteer work, and knowing that the church is a $1 billion organization, and their decision to use free labor to clean the church versus hiring it out. So
is this real?
This is dead serious.
This is why I'm not on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm dead serious. Kenny, have you seen this?
I don't think I've seen that one, but I've seen a lot of unfortunately, I've seen more Exmo stuff than I wish I could.
Yeah,
there's so many different points. Yeah, so, I usually kind of roll my eyes because most of the stuff that if anybody cared to actually
just a little research,
easy to understand. Yeah,
that's right.
Research.
Yeah.
And let me say, there's one thing I would like to comment on that. One thing, it reminds me of something I learned about a couple years ago that Japan does in their public schools. So Japan has adopted a model for at least for the elementary schools. I'm not sure about the details, and if anybody's listening to this and they could correct me if I'm wrong, because I could be wrong. But the information that I read said that the Japanese public schools had adopted a system where the children cleaned the school and the children prepared the lunches. You know, there's all these jobs that we all American schools all have paid people to do.
Right.
But their rationale is it's not saving money. It's not about the money. For them, it's about if you have these children, if the children are the ones who are responsible for keeping the school clean, then they will respect the school and they will take better care of it. Because at the end of the day, if they know they're the ones that have to keep it clean, if they see somebody, throwing some trash on the ground, or they see somebody,
right,
spitting some bubble gum or something like that, they're going to say, whoa, hold on, man. What are you doing? We have to keep this place clean. I'm not cleaning up your nasty bubble gum.
Right.
Right.
And
they have a better respect. They grow up having a better respect for the school, and they take better care of the school. When they have to prepare their own lunches, they appreciate the lunches that they have, and they understand. And it's part of their curriculum, actually. It's part of their curriculum is learning how, like the janitorial work. Janitorial work is respectable work. A lot of us may look down on it, but no, that's very respectable work. And Japanese students are taught how to clean and how to properly care for a building, and there's a lot of stuff that goes into that. They're taught about nutrition and how to grow vegetables and how to prepare meals and stuff. And so that is when this change was first made. I remember that's the thing that came to my mind, is like that's what it's all about. This is helping us to appreciate and respect the buildings that we have, and it really does. To me, it when we go in and we clean up, and it's just like even the temple, like
Oh yeah.
my wife and I have went to temple.
Oh,
we've
and
driven
that's awesome.
4 hours
Yeah.
to donate our labor to clean the temple. What why would you do that? But it's an awesome experience. It really is. It grow. I mean, it's like you have this increased appreciation for the temple. And for me, it's an amazing experience getting to go behind the scenes kind of and see all the work that's done. So yeah, those people that would criticize that would act like the church is trying to like save a buck really don't understand that principle.
All right, so let me play devil's advocate just a little bit, okay? Just to play around with this. When it's your turn to clean the church, how excited are you to put down what you're doing with all the other stuff you got going on to go and clean the church?
No comment.
Oh, I'm not.
No.
I mean, I
really
will
not.
confess right now. I'm not saying I'm like, oh yay, it's.
I'm going to learn.
I'm
going to now be more respectful of the building and everything.
Yeah, everything Kenny said is spot on.
Absolutely, it is.
But it is. Well, look here. When I went home teaching, I used to not want to go home teaching.
Exactly.
I'm just telling you straight up. But once I got there, I was like, okay.
Yes,
it's not as bad as I put in my mind that it is, and actually you feel really good when you leave there doing it. So
correct,
yeah. And it just goes back to everything Kenny said. That's the whole reason. But yeah, it's tough to get there because you're thinking, man, my house is a mess. But
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I need to be cleaning here. I need to mow the grass. I don't need to go over there and clean it up. Something that these kids, I don't even have small kids. You get all these thoughts, and Cheerios everywhere. I don't sit here. All these terrible thoughts. And going back to what that person said on Twitter, it really boils down to, they want to say, you guys are a multi-billion-dollar church and y'all are just a bunch of y'all wants money. Y'all just making money. Y'all just have money, and y'all don't want to use it for nothing. Y'all want to just hoard money and this and that. And I mean, that's really what they're saying. They're looking for any little stupid little thing. And y'all don't do that anymore. So I know y'all are just trying to hoard more money for this. Well, did you see the thing with David A. Bednar with the NPC, the National Press?
Yes. Yes.
What are they called? What's it called? The National Press Club.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, man. The questions, hey, they didn't know, this weren't no pre-screened questions that he got. I mean, they gave him some questions. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, I was thinking, oh, how's he going to answer this? One of the things that they said goes along with this. They said, of course, I just scrolled all the way down to the bottom, so that didn't help me any. Let's see right here. It says this is what the question was posed to him. It says, with over 100 billion in funds and assets, the LDS Church has more capability than any other church in the country to help eliminate poverty. He said, what more could the church do in terms of humanitarian efforts here? And Elder Bednar says this. He says, if you take a look at the stock market, he said, I don't think it's 100 billion anymore. That's the first thing. Everybody started laughing. Yeah. He said, and I want to make one other comment about this. He said, people want to bang on the church and say, well, you have all that money in reserve. Yeah. And it's a good idea for other people to follow that example. He said, we believe, and you can read in the Old Testament about 7 years of famine and 7 years of plenty. It's a good idea to prepare. These undertakings that I've described are resource consuming, not resource generating. He was talking about all the humanitarian aid that we put out every year. He said, these are not resource generating. This is resource consuming. In other words, we're just pumping money and it's not coming back. Mm-hmm. It's not coming back. He says, and a lot of people depend on the resources that we provide. And if things were different in the future than they are now, we think it's provident and wise to prepare to maintain that kind of support in an uncertain economic environment. And lastly, he says, I sound like a business professor. That's what he said. But he's trying to say it's common sense. You need to store up some money. Yeah, $100 billion. That sounds like a ton of money. It is a ton of money. I mean, it don't sound like it. It is. But in perspective, with the number of people we have that can put money into that, and there's a lot of wealthy members of the church too that can put their tithing in and things. And so it becomes sort of it makes sense that there's that much money. You know what I mean? It's the
Right.
same as if in my family, I've got, $5,000 or $10,000 in the safe in there, and you think, well, you got all that money and you're not giving it to the homeless people in Waycross, and it's like, well, I might need that money. I'm not just doing it to say, look at me, I got money. I actually don't want nobody to know I got money. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like for that kind of thing. But so it's that kind of rhetoric. People, they're looking for anything, man. And
Yeah.
Kenny knows, the
Yeah.
ex
Oh, yeah.
they're looking for anything.
And so it reminded me, that question reminded me of something that somebody else, a point that somebody else made in the scriptures one time. And I'll take it even a step further. The church could, they're number one, you could say the church is hoarding all this money, but then I've seen other people accuse the church of spending the money irresponsibly by all the temples we're building.
Yeah, exactly.
These
luxurious.
These temples are millions and millions and millions of dollars to build
Yes.
these buildings. These aren't cheap buildings. These are
Yes.
buildings that are built to last through the millennium. And so I've seen people say, oh, y'all spending all these hundreds of millions of dollars on these temples, and
Right.
you could be doing with the poor. It reminds me of the story in the New Testament with the was it Mary Magdalene with the spikenard oil, that she used the very, very expensive oil on the feet of Jesus. And wasn't it Judas who was like, what is she doing? Think of all the poor people we could help. We blah, blah, blah. We shouldn't be allowed to do this. We should be helping the poor. And then what was Christ's response?
Yeah, I mean,
what do you say?
well,
I know the poor are always going to be with you.
The poor is always going to be there, but I won't always be here.
Yes.
That's what the Savior said. He said, but I won't always be here. Yeah.
So let me read from a
it's not a choice. It's not a choice like either you help them or you help them. We should help we should do all.
Right.
That's what the Lord basically was saying. Do all of it. Help me and help the poor and help the
So let me read from an article here. We quote a lady, okay? She says, it's not that I'm above janitorial work. It isn't the vacuum and the scrubbing itself that began to irk me. It's the assumption that the same opportunities to sacrifice for the kingdom do not exist today as they once did. It's the belief that that this cleaning opportunity is a necessary spiritual one that members are not achieving as they simultaneously fill their spiritual cup and calendar with family home Eden, seminary, singles activities, primary and youth activities, family history work, temple attendance, family and individual scripture study, come follow me lessons, feeding the missionaries, creating handouts for lessons, planning lessons, cleaning the temple, education, member missionary work, preparing for Sunday and Saturday, using Sunday as the day of rest, working one or more jobs during the week, parenting home care, volunteering at school in the community, attending meetings for callings, building up food storage, supervising homework, going on dates, building friendships, finding interrupted family time, etc.
Good grief. And we're doing a podcast too.
And we're doing a podcast. That's right. Here's one other thing, which is actually, she has a point on this next one. She says, see,
I haven't been shot for my beliefs yet. So I mean that's
right.
You think about the early pioneers. I mean, that's kind of
I can't find it here, but she points out it's normally the same 4 and 5, 6 families, that end up showing up to do the cleaning.
That's true.
Versus a greater pool of people or members and everything and stuff.
That's true. It's the STP thing. It's the STP thing. The same 10 people, same 20 people, or whatever, however people say
that's
it.
That's right.
And it's the same 10 people that accept callings, or and it's the same 10 people that accept the invitation to speak in sacrament. It's the same 10 people that
do the service project.
It gives us an opportunity too, though, to be able to extend grace and forgiveness, because I'll be honest. I know, like right now, I'm a team captain or whatever, and it's frustrating when there are some on my team that I reach out to everybody, and there's in the last 2 years have not showed up one single time, and I know that they could, but it's like, it's easy to get mad and say, oh man, why do they want to help out? But it gives me an opportunity to humble myself a little bit, say, okay, hold on. I don't know what other people's situation is.
Right.
I don't know what's in their heart. I don't know. And it's not my place to judge people, because So
And-
it
and-
gives me opportunity for spiritual growth right there.
It's really very little about the building. It's really
It
very
is.
little
Yeah,
about
absolutely.
cleaning.
A-
It never is.
absolutely.
It never is the most obvious thing in the Church of Jesus Christ. It's always about the things of what are you learning from this? You know, what are you becoming by, you know,
Yeah.
get the Cheerios off the floor, but you know, also like you're saying, Kenny, think about those that aren't there that should be there. And what can we do for them? You know, what can we, you know, or whatever, you know, there's always some kind of learning.
And we've always brought our children to go to come
Oh, yeah.
and participate. And I really think that they are the ones, and not that adults can get good things from it, but I think it really benefits the children if children are
Yes.
involved in cleaning
yeah.
the church building.
Appreciation.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we all did a good job answering that question and resolving my concerns. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad we were able to do
That's
that
right.
for you.
Yeah. Just think if me and Kenny took over Twitter. I mean, I'm
That's
talking
right.
to Elon. We could really clean this thing up so
That's
fast,
Right.
convert so many people. No, it's good.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. Well, cool.
Yep.
Hey, it's 3
All
minutes till 8 o'clock,
stuff.
Kenny.
All right.
Yep.
So
I got to go.
very good.
All right.
Hey, y'all have a good one. Y'all keep on
All right,
striving.
Thank y'all.
Yo, keep on striving.
Keep on striving.
Bye.
Bye.
See you. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you would like to follow us on social media, you can do that through Instagram and Facebook at Saints in the South. A great place to join in the discussion would be our podcast group page on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter, Saints in the South at 5 Southern Saints. And then, of course, on YouTube, hit the like button, notification bell. And if you're not already, be sure and subscribe. And then finally, you can check us out through our website, saintsinthesouth.com, where you can have access to all the podcast and YouTube videos. And then we would love for you to take the opportunity and leave us a review and rating. Thanks again for all of your support, and we will see you next time.